Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica and I created Dolled Up by Jay. So you're a Real Housewives fan. Well, this video is for you. I am filming straight from Dubai to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. So if you want to know all of the tea, all of the drama, some behind the scenes about Dubai from episode 3, then this video is for you. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell as well for future uploads to follow along with this channel series. So you guys really enjoyed the last video I did on episodes 1 and 2. Thank you so much for the love. So I'm going to be doing a channel series on the show. I really wanted to film this video with episode 4 airing, and I was waiting because they tend to air, I believe, on Wednesdays. So yesterday I was waiting for the episode to drop. It never did. Today, still nothing. So I figured let's talk about episode 3 in depth. So first, I had a few points from episode 2 that I kind of left out. So I've never been one to really go on Twitter too much, only if something is like really trending and I want to see kind of the conversation happening. So I actually went on Twitter the other day to look at what people were saying about Real Housewives of Dubai so far, and it seems like so far Chanel Ayan is a total fan favorite. People are loving her, people are quoting her, and she is definitely very heavily quoted. She has some of the best lines in the show so far, whether or not they're the kindest always. You know, she is proving herself to be one of the leading housewives for sure, because she is bringing the drama, and that is what people want to see, right, with these type of shows. So Chanel Ayan has a very positive response. I'm finding that a lot of people are really bored with Caroline Stanbury this season so far, because on Ladies of London she was kind of known as the HBIC. She had big attitude. She wasn't afraid to put people in their place. But I think with the promo for episode 4, I think she's going to come out more. She is quite conservative, I noticed, definitely so far in the show, and people are really commenting on her and Sergio's relationship. I don't know why, maybe because they have a huge age difference. I believe it's at least 2 decades, so she's quite a lot older. And I did some digging, and apparently Sergio's family, before meeting Caroline, offered to pay him money to break up with her because they didn't want him being with such an older woman. And I guess he's had quite a successful soccer or football career. We call it soccer in North America, football in Europe, everywhere else, I believe. So he's had a supposedly successful career. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sunburned. I don't know what happens. I put on 50, I turn red. I literally put makeup on over this. So if it's distracting to you, I apologize, but it is what it is, okay? So yeah, Sergio and Caroline's relationship, I've been following them for a while and I find it to be genuine, but a lot of people are saying that it looks forced. I don't think it does personally. I think they're really cute, but a lot of people are saying he's like very annoying. So I would be really interested to hear what you guys think about their dynamic, because it's a really big topic on the Twitter universe. So another topic that I noticed a lot from the show so far was that people were saying it's just really boring, and that's the feedback I had on my last video as well. I found episode 1 and 2 to be quite boring, quite flat. You know, the Dubai scenery is cool and seeing where they're going, but I think with any new show, when you have a cast of characters together where they loosely know each other, it seems like they're kind of put together on these shows and they know each other sort of, and some of them are good friends for years, some of them are just meeting, so they're kind of in this group now. It's gonna take a while to get like a plot going, so I think that's the issue with this show. And the reviews and the ratings online are really bad, although it's still apparently in the top 10 globally streamed reality shows anyways. I saw one of the housewives post on their story, so who knows? So one of the main things I left off with in the last video was about how Chanel Ayan gifted, I believe it was Lesa, the goat. Oh my goodness. And I thought this was a bit, you know, what are they going to do with this goat after? They live in a house at least, not an apartment, but this is a bit crazy. She still has the goat apparently, and it got lost in the neighborhood, and she had to go on a Facebook group for her surrounding neighborhood to find where the goat was. And now he's safe. It's just a little bit like, it's a bit too much. So that's all I have to say. I think from episode 2 that I really wanted to touch on briefly was, I did mention they all seem to have household staff because it is, again, quite affordable here. And also, I noticed they definitely treated the staff differently. And this was another topic on Twitter, was a lot of people were really offended by the way Caroline Brooks was talking to her staff, because she would be like, I need my coffee, get me my coffee. And, you know, I didn't find her to be too rude, but what I kind of didn't really love was when she was like, I need my sunglasses. You know what I mean? It's like, get up off the couch and go and get your own sunglasses. It's totally fine if you want to have people that are live-ins in your home and they clean for you, they make you coffee, they cook for you, whatever. Great, awesome. But when you're at the point where you're literally telling someone, bring me my sunglasses because you cannot get up off the couch. I don't know if she did this for live television to kind of be a little bit extra, but I just found it was like a little bit too princessy, just personally. It was just a little bit, and I noticed on Twitter people were saying the same thing. So I was like, okay, other people caught it too? Okay. I found it funny. Caroline was texting her staff, you know, can I order a smoothie? She's lying in bed. I almost find this a bit better than saying like, I need my smoothie. At least she's sending them a text. She's not like shouting to them and, you know, without even making eye contact, that sort of thing. I don't think that's too bad. I have a full service building, so when I need anything, I just text them for what I need because I don't have live-in staff. I find the texting part fine, personally. And then I did notice that Sara was very kind with, I think it was her live-in just household, and I forget her name, I'm sorry, but she was kind of helping them in the kitchen in episode 2, and she was being very sweet and kind of, you know, included in all of that. And I found Sara to be treating her very nicely. So that's just takeaway from what I noticed. Another thing from episode 2 is they did mention the real estate in Dubai. Caroline mentioned she's building a brand new house, I believe still in the same area, Al Barari, but it's going to be bigger, better, grander, custom, everything, yada yada, right? And so she did say it's hard to buy a house in Dubai, and they panned to, I think it was a 1-bedroom in the Burj Khalifa for like 1.3 million US dollars. I mean, yes, 1-bedrooms could go for that, but it really just depends on what area you're in. If you don't live in the city as much, it's not going to be as expensive. But of course, if you are living closer to the city, if you are living like on the Palm or Jumeirah, a neighborhood like this, those are very luxurious areas of Dubai as well, then the prices will definitely go up for sure. And one thing interesting as well about the housing in Dubai is for mortgages, they do payment plans because debt is actually technically not entirely legal in Dubai. So they do payment plans of about, I believe it's 3 to 4 years for most houses. It could be up to 5, but it's nothing like Canada or the US where you'll have 15 to 30-year mortgages. No, 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 no. You need 30 to 40% down, 100%. And then the payment plans are 3 to 4 to 5 years, I believe, to buy a house, which is just like, it's crazy, right? So it is difficult to come to Dubai, and you need to have a lot of cash if you want to buy a house right away. But the same thing goes for rental properties. Rental properties, most of them, you need to have 1 year up front. Some of them do quarterly payments, so you'll pay every quarter all your rent in installments. But in Canada, this is crazy. We do first month's rent and last month's rent. So, you know, if anything happens or you can't pay your rent 1 month, they have that secondary deposit of another month. So what a lot of people do in Dubai when they first come here and they're kind of getting their bearings is a lot of people will go on this website called like Dubizzle or Airbnb even, and they will do monthly rentals from owner direct a lot of the time. And that way they don't have to be locked into like a 1-year agreement where they need to pay the whole lump sum in a year or every few months. So sometimes that is better for people if they're getting their bearings, but those rentals can also be way more expensive. For example, I know of a few people that were renting 1-bedroom apartments, very, very, very small as well, very, very small, 5,000 Canadian dollars for the month. So that's about maybe 4,000 or so US for like a 700 square foot apartment off Airbnb, right? So hotels as well, they offer long stays. I did really enjoy Sara Al Madani in episode 3, really, you know, explaining a bit more about her businesses and all of this. I thought that was really cool, and I really am liking her so far as a character on the show. It sounds weird to say character as they are human beings, but I keep saying character, so sorry. But I'm really enjoying her so far. She is the one actual Emirati woman on the show, and she is actually very rebellious. So, you know, she has visible tattoos. Didn't realize tattoos were actually quite frowned upon amongst locals here. And I don't really notice many women with tattoos that I can think of, to be honest with you. She's also been open about her businesses she started. She's gone through 15 companies. She's now a tech entrepreneur, and she says she's gone bankrupt twice, which is a huge statement to make on public television, but I honestly commend her for it because that's super, super honest, and she's just kind of given it to us real. You know what I mean? So I think that she's honestly a front runner to be my favorite character so far because I find her to be very real. I find her not really to be involved in any of the drama. I find her to be quite genuine. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, but I'm really enjoying her character so far. I do also really like how she said, you know, she dresses more conservative for herself, not because her religion, her Muslim faith forces her to. She just feels like a woman can still be sexy and conservative, which is totally true. I mean, since moving to Dubai for myself, I find sometimes, like times that I've gone out with a bit of cleavage, I almost feel a bit out of place at times, and I feel like it's almost looking like it's trying too hard. Like, I think there's definitely something I've taken from living in Dubai is, you know, I am kind of showing cleavage today, but it's my lounge outfit, okay? It's my lounge outfit. But you know, going out in Dubai, you really don't need to have everything pushed up. You don't need to be showing short skirt, your whole leg. You don't need to be having spaghetti straps. It's really about a balance here. And yes, 100% women can still dress sexy, and that's fine. But I do find I've definitely embraced a bit more of a conservative side of life in my style living here as well, because it's almost just more the norm, especially if you go into, you know, very nice establishments, nice restaurants. You know, I'll wear a cute tank top with a blazer now that it's almost 50 degrees, which is like 120 Fahrenheit. By the way, today was 50 degrees. I wore jeans. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm acclimatized, but that's what I wore. Anyways, before it was 50 degrees, I would wear like a nice blazer out at night, or a cute cropped jacket with like a tank top or some sort of little, you know, cute silk top or bustier style top to kind of balance it out, right? I felt honestly like almost too naked, whereas in Canada I would wear like bodysuits and low cut things and crop tops all the time. But here I feel like if I wear that out, I really need to balance it with a really high-waisted pair of shorts or a very long skirt or a pair of pants. It's just the style here. It's just like the values are a little bit different. Obviously it really depends on where you go and, you know, what kind of nightlife environment you're in. Obviously if you're in a more like clubbing environment, you're going to see like anything goes type thing. But definitely for the classier restaurants, it's not so much about showing everything, and I do like a lot of their styles so far on the show. I found it interesting, Chanel Ayan was helping with Lesa's upcoming fashion show, so that was kind of cool to see her fashion expertise. She was helping her cast the models, but I thought it was crazy because she was saying that, oh, Lesa wants a few plus size models in the show, and she said super size is for food, not for people. And I was like, oh my god, I was like, this is definitely one of the hands down like most famous quotes so far of the show. But like, this is a little bit toxic to say that, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't say she wants super size models, she said plus size. It's easy for someone who's like a negative, probably 00 to say people shouldn't be super sized, but plus size is its own category. And I think it was a little bit like, oh, did she really just say that? That was just my reaction from it. But I enjoyed watching like the model casting segment. I've always thought that was really interesting, and seeing Chanel Ayan's kind of perspective. And I found her just to be like helpful and fine during this episode. And yeah, then Nina invited Caroline over to the Atlantis on the Palm. That's a very famous hotel. To be honest with you, I've been there multiple times because Nobu is there. The one Nobu in Dubai is in the Atlantis on the Palm. And so I do love Nobu, but it's so far, it's on the very end of the Palm, right in the middle. And the thing with the Atlantis is, I'm sorry, if you have kids, the Atlantis is a very popular hotel, and that's why it's always very expensive, because it has the famous arch and there's like kids activities. There are the rooms with the aquariums, as you can see, you know, in the show. I think those are very expensive though, because they're more like novelty, right? Like once in a lifetime experience. I don't love the Atlantis because I find it to be just so filled with families and children. And like when I'm going out for a nice dinner, or I just want to like go enjoy part of Dubai, I'm sorry, I don't have kids. I don't want to be around your kids. I don't want to be around screaming kids. It's my choice at the moment in my life. I don't have kids. You know what I mean? So that's just a hotel that I'm not personally in love with, because it's just the most child-filled hotel I've ever seen in Dubai. And of course, it was a family vacation, right? So nothing against people that have kids. It's just for me, I don't like love going to the Atlantis, but I do enjoy Nobu. But staycations are actually very popular in Dubai. It's kind of interesting because there's so many neighborhoods to Dubai, right? So if you're someone who lives downtown, you might want more of a beach retreat. You might want to go head down to Jumeirah, or you might want to go to the Palm, one of the hotels on there. And because the weather is so hot right now, hotels are actually so affordable. Like you can stay at a 5-star hotel for like $200 US a night, like the best hotel that was previously like $1,500 to $2,000 a night. They've knocked the prices down so much because of the weather at the moment. So if anyone's in Dubai watching this and you want to do a little staycation, head to your travel websites and check out all the deals, because you can stay in amazing hotels for so much less right now. So yeah, that's an interesting thing as well. So yeah, staycations are really popular in Dubai. Okay, so another part of the show, they go to Scalini for lunch. This is in the Four Seasons. I believe this was Chanel Ayan, Lesa, and Caroline Brooks. So they go to Scalini in the Four Seasons for lunch. It's a nice Italian restaurant, very bougie. I actually tried booking it the other day and they were full. But in the show, it looked very empty because they went for lunchtime. And Chanel Ayan brought that iconic pot of lemons as a gift. I found it funny because she was like, oh, she's just so bitter, I'm gonna give her some lemons. And then I think it was when Caroline arrived, she said, oh, you know, in this life we need to make lemonade out of lemons. So I'm like, okay, you said one thing without her arriving, and then you said another thing when she arrived, right? And I found in that lunch, I think Caroline Brooks was a little bit like instigating drama a little bit, saying, you know, Caroline Stanbury should apologize to you, Chanel, and all of this, and kind of firing her up a bit, right? So I noticed that one of my viewers in my previous video said that Caroline Brooks is going to maybe be the villain because she's like kind of plotting and blah, blah, blah. So I can see this coming out in episode 3 for sure. I could see this coming out in episode 3. And Lesa was going to have her fashion show. She, I think, invited Caroline, and Caroline did not attend. She said that, you know, she's not in a good place with Lesa, and it doesn't really make sense for her to go to someone's fashion show who she is fighting with, because she doesn't want there to be any drama and ruin it. And all the rest of the ladies were kind of like, I can't believe she didn't come. Oh my God, she should have supported you. You know, I can see from Caroline's point of view why she didn't, because it's all about Lesa. It's her day, and you don't want to take the spotlight from someone if you're having drama with them, right? We're all like, oh, she must be so busy wedding planning or whatever. And she's at home drinking Moet, which Lesa may or may not have gifted her in a previous episode. Allegedly, we don't know if it's the same bottle or not. She's drinking this Moet with Sergio in the house, literally just chilling, listening to like classical music or whatever the show is playing. I thought this scene was funny. What I didn't love, this was big on Twitter, was I used to really like Nina. Or was it Mina? I'm sorry. Mina. I used to like Nina a lot, okay? In the first 2 episodes, I thought she was really down to earth. She wasn't too extra, not too problematic. But the way she was constantly going on about the fries in this episode, it's a fashion show, it's not a restaurant. Although, let me tell you, the fashion show location was at Soho Garden in Meydan. Soho Garden is like a really big nightclub, and they bring really big headline DJs of Dubai there. They have a completely indoor section in the nightclub. They have an outdoor terrace lounge and kind of like a garden area where they serve food. But I found it interesting that during the filming, the editing was kind of trying to cut the Soho Garden signs away a few times. I noticed, because I would kind of catch the text and I'd be like, why are they not just saying where the show is? That's a bit weird, but who knows, because the first dinner, where there was the private dinner where they had that fight, it was all about, you know, we're at C'est La Vie, we're at the Skyview, and so this instance they didn't advertise Soho Garden. I'm not sure why, a bit strange. But Nina's whole ordeal with the French fries, you know, yes, they were technically in a place that had a kitchen, but if it was a private event on a night when Soho Garden was closed because they didn't have any DJ shows, I understand why they wouldn't have had French fries, because they technically were not in a restaurant. There was no menu. It was an event that looked like she had catering arranged, and I just found the way that she kept going on about the fries, like, make it happen, and then they finally come and she's like, I've been waiting 1 hour. It's like, they didn't even have them. Like, you're at a friend's event which is catered. It's not the time to start demanding things. Like, yes, maybe your friend should have foreseen that her vegetarian friend Nina is coming, and we should have something for her. She is such a true friend to us that she needs French fries, you know, she loves these, but we didn't. I just thought the way she was talking to the staff was a bit rude, it was a bit entitled, and personally, I just don't think you should ever be rude to people that are serving you, people that are service workers, anyone that is serving you in any way. They're just trying to do their jobs. Like, they do not control the menu. They're literally just there to work for the night. They're probably hired for the event. And I just think it says more about you as a person if you're rude to a service worker than if they cannot help you in some way. You know what I mean? And they were never rude to her in the show. So I just thought that was a bit tasteful. And I think now I'm off Team Nina and I'm like full on Team Sara. That's all I gotta say. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you guys think about her treatment of people, because I just really didn't agree with it. Okay, so in another scene, Caroline Brooks and Caroline Stanbury head to a place called Cosmosurge. It's kind of like a medi-clinic. They do like Botox, fillers, I think plastic surgery, and they do this machine called the M-Sculpt. And the M-Sculpt, this show didn't really talk about it, but it's a very expensive machine to use. I believe it's about $500 to $600 Canadian, so maybe at least $400 per session, and it equals about 2,000 sit-ups, and you put it on for I think about 10 minutes. So it's kind of like it pulses your muscles. So this is a machine where basically like you don't want to go to the gym, but you want the stress on your muscles and like the lactic acid buildup as if you've done 2,000 sit-ups. But it's a very, very expensive treatment, although because as Caroline Brooks noted, Caroline Stanbury gets everything for free. She's an ambassador of CosmoSurge. She gets so many things for free in Dubai. They obviously didn't have to pay, right? I thought it was interesting though, because in the episode, Caroline Brooks was like, oh yeah, you know, she's not that influential. Like she has what, 500,000 followers and she does everything for free in Dubai. Like she's not that influential. But then when they were doing the treatment and they were together, she was being very sweet with her and very nice. So I was like, are there two faces to Caroline Brooks now? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Is this a new potential villain? I don't think she'll actually be the villain because I think Chanel Ayan has come in so hot. I think it's going to be a clash between Chanel Ayan and Caroline Stanbury based on what I've seen on the promo for episode 4. But I think Caroline Brooks, she's kind of like, she's trying to get in there. You know what I mean? So I thought that scene was interesting. And just to touch on that, so yes, Dubai is very known for cosmetic procedures, but what's even more known is nearby Turkey. A lot of people from Dubai and Europe as well, they go to Turkey, they get veneers, they get hair transplants, very popular for men. They do all kinds of plastic surgery because it is a fraction of the price of Dubai. Dubai, you could get amazing private healthcare, you know, barely need to book an appointment. You can just show up, pay them, whatever, and you can get anything you want at any time, but you pay for it. You definitely pay for it. It's definitely not cheap at all. But there is actually a district called Healthcare City where they have like a lot of hospitals and private hospitals, regular hospitals in Dubai. Dubai also has like a media city and everything is kind of grouped in certain districts, but they also have along Jumeirah Road, I think it's Jumeirah Road, it's before Jumeirah Beach Road, there's a whole kind of community of like medi clinics, skin clinics, dermatology clinics. It's like a little district of medi spas for like facials, Botox, M-sculpts, things like this, cool sculpt, all of these type of things, you know, dental aesthetics, veneers, all of this are along this strip in Jumeirah. So that's a little bit of a fun fact for you. Jumeirah is the area where they did the Scalini lunch. So a few minutes from them is all the kind of medi clinics. I'm not sure where this CosmoSurge one is. I don't think it's along there. I think it's somewhere else. I might be wrong, but I thought that was an interesting part of the show as well. And you know, there was a little bit of a dig made, I think by Caroline Brooks, about Sara Al Madani saying, you know, oh, she knows all about plastic surgery from head to toe, you know, and then they showed a before and after photo, which I don't know if Sara necessarily consented to being aired on TV. However, you know, it's common knowledge. You can Google her and see, you know, Sara Al Madani before and after plastic surgery. I think she looks wonderful. She obviously doesn't have the most like natural looking lips, you know, do look very enhanced, but I think she still looks beautiful. And she did go on Twitter as well to say something like, you know, this is my body, this is my choice, and you shouldn't shame anyone for how they look. And I totally agree with that, especially, you know, in the Housewives franchise, barely any of them are 100% natural. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to get a little tweak to yourself, feel your best, get a little Botox, plastic surgery, I literally don't care. I think it's worse when people deny it. It's one thing not to talk about it, but I think especially if you deny it and you pretend you're all natural when you're clearly not and your face doesn't move, then that's one thing, right? So I think that at least being open about it is definitely a plus, and I don't think we should be shaming anyone for procedures that they've had done. Okay, what's next? One thing I wanted to also note on that I've noticed in the show was a lot of people's faces are blurred, which I need to find out how to do that for some of my vlogs, because technically in Dubai, you're not really supposed to film people without their consent, especially, you know, if it's going on TV. So that's why a lot of the places they go, they'll just pan to like the scenery and they won't show people's faces unless some of them may have maybe consented to be in the background as part of the show. So that's why you see a lot of people blurred, because I don't really recall seeing a lot of other people blurred in other Housewives shows. But for Dubai, it's definitely one of the laws that if you're especially airing something on like public television and all of this, then you need people's consent. And that's why in some of my vlogs, I try not to show like too many people unless they're just going really quickly by. Like I don't really show anyone like really like behind me, just for like privacy reasons and it's just like the law, you know? Okay, you guys, well, I think that was the video for today. Let me know what you thought about episode 3. Let me know how you feel about the show maybe now after watching the 3rd episode. Are you still finding it boring? Are you enjoying it? What do we think about the French fry ordeal? What do we think about Chanel Ayan's lemon gift and goat gift? What do we think about everyone? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to be a part of this channel series, and also for more fashion and Dubai content. I would love to have you back here. If you're a returning subscriber and you made it till the end, thank you. I love you, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys, take care. Bye.